The President of the United States has come out now among his supporters and said that his next term, he's going to reshape health care. He's going to take a second stab at health care and get it right this time. My guess is when he says he's going to get it right, what he means by get it right is it's going to be a single-payer health care system. That's what the president has said the entire time he wanted, but he's never admitted, and this is the key part I want you to remember, he's never admitted publicly that's what he wanted outside of his inner circles. We have him on tape. We have his inner circles saying on tape, but we don't have him in any major speech in front of everybody, in front of all the cameras. We don't have him anywhere saying that publicly, and that is key. I want you to just to remember that, tuck it in your back pocket, and now let's talk about this. I honestly don't understand what the left wants from this president. Let me play devil's advocate, and may mean that literally, and argue for the president here for a second. If you are a Marxist, if you are a revolutionary, if you're a communist, really if you're an anarchist, if you're an extreme leftist, if you're somebody who doesn't like the system as it is on the left, what more could this president do for you? I want you to think about his accomplishments. I want you to look at what this man has accomplished and ask yourself, what the hell are you complaining about? I have an answer to this at the end, but I want to give you some perspective first. I want to hear your answer. What more does a progressive leftist want from the President of the United States? Look at the list. Look at the list of his accomplishments. Look at the things that this man has done. Teddy Roosevelt was the first to say, we need a universal health care system. Teddy Roosevelt and every liberal president since Teddy Roosevelt has said we need universal health care. No one has gotten it done until Barack Obama. This is the biggest liberal progressive achievement since Johnson, but the biggest achievement for liberals I believe the country has ever had. If you are a progressive, this has been the cornerstone of fundamental transformation of the United States of America. And only President Obama got it done. When is the last time any conservative got anything this size done? What is the equivalent on the conservative side? I contend it's what? A 10% flat tax? I mean, it would take something that large. The abolishment of the IRS and a 10% flat tax. But that's not all he's done. He didn't just pass the most massive, transformative bill of all time in American history. He's covered almost everything. Don't ask, don't tell is gone. Gay marriage is supported. And he's not enforcing the Defense of Marriage Act. That goes against his oath of office. He's used the justice system as a political tool. Look at what's happening in Florida with a man who now is beginning to appear innocent in the Trayvon Martin case. But it's so much deeper than that. It's so much deeper than in bed with the Black Panthers, in bed with the radicals that begin at Al Sharpton. Do you remember when we used to think Al Sharpton was the radical? Al Sharpton is the sanest among the radicals now. And this Justice Department shows up with Eric Holder at the time of moments in time like Trayvon Martin and helps him raise money. But it goes beyond that. This week, Eric Holder and the IRS showed up together at a black church conference calling all of the black churches together to explain exactly how to campaign, what would get you in trouble and what wouldn't. It was clear intimidation. By the way, they didn't schedule this conference for any other community. Why? What is it the progressives want from this president? He's ended the war on terror. He didn't stop the killing. He's just ended the war on terror, saying terror is a tactic. Terror is not something you go to war against. Jihad is a legitimate religious edict. Terror is a tactic, and we can't say anything about jihad. This president has legitimized jihad. This president has brought the Muslim Brotherhood into the Oval Office, brought the Muslim Brotherhood from Egypt. He brought the Muslim Brotherhood into our Department of Homeland Security, into our Pentagon. He has erased any kind of training against Islamic extremism. He denies that there is such a thing as Islamic extremism. This president has brought the labor unions in as his full partner. The top two guests of the White House are the leaders of labor unions. They set the agenda. He is suing Arizona, one of the 50 states, over immigration laws. The EPA is completely out of control. The EPA has a SWAT team. He has an oil moratorium. Under this president, we have shut down the largest oil refinery in the East Coast. The left, the progressive left, the earth lovers, they all say we need gas prices as high as Europe. Under this president, remember, if that is your point, that you want people to use less gas, and you think we should have gas prices as high as Europe, under this president, because of his policies, gas has doubled in price. He's virtually shut down the coal industry. Maybe you want more liberal judges than Sotomayor and Kagan. Maybe you don't think that he has done his job on class warfare. Maybe you don't think that he's demonized Wall Street enough. Maybe you don't think that he has demonized hardworking Americans who came from nothing and now are millionaires because they invented something, because they created a business. Maybe it's because he's only co-opted the banks and the auto industry and hasn't fully nationalized them. But he has taken over the banks. Evidence shows that the banks are now doing the bidding of the United States government. He's extended the car company takeovers. Why? You might as well nationalize them. He's overseen the largest financial reform ever in the United States. He's created the Credit Protection Agency, which is the first agency outside of the Constitution. It doesn't answer to the president. It doesn't answer to the Treasury. It doesn't answer to Congress. It only answers to the Fed. No president has ever done that before. He has taken the U.S. military and reduced the size of our fighting force while creating a private State Department army without any questions whatsoever. He has changed foreign constitutions. Hear this, and look at Kenya as evidence. By withholding State Department money, he has changed foreign constitutions to begin to support abortion. He has almost entirely co-opted the media, while at the same time demonized from the Oval Office anybody who has a different opinion. He has darn near made it criminal to have a differing point of view. He has appointed literal socialists, literal communists, literal revolutionaries in high office. He has given the presidential Medal of Freedom to socialists and communists. He has put Muslim Brotherhood members in high office. He has open hostility to the nation of Israel and almost all of our foreign allies. He has overseen the darn near destruction of NATO. He has given NATO a leading role over the United States. Think about Libya. Did we lead that? We didn't lead that. The European partners led that. He has gotten rid of the missile shield at the expense of Poland. He has given our nuclear serial numbers and the number of missiles from our allies and from us to Russia. He just had the DOJ stop a bid to halt illegal voting. They're trying to purge all illegal aliens from the voter rolls in Florida. He just directed Eric Holder to stop that process. He has brought into the federal budget ACORN. He's gone on the American apology tour, that America is only exceptional to Americans, just like Greece is exceptional to Greeks. He's apologized for almost everything this country has ever done, no matter its intent. He has cozied up with the Russians. We have massive regulation that will never truly be undone because of Cass Sunstein. He has supported anarchists, communists, and revolutionaries by supporting Occupy Wall Street. The EPA now has the ability to regulate carbon emissions for the very first time. Michelle Obama is trying to control what you eat. He has overseen a massive expansion of government aid programs. Food stamps from 26 million to 48 million people in 3.5 years. He put together a stimulus plan that included money for essentially every item on the progressive wish list for the past 100 years. Just one tiny example, he threw billions and billions of dollars at green energy companies with absolutely no prospect for success. Think of that. What more do you want from this president? If you're a progressive, a Marxist, an anarchist, what more do you want from this president? I'll tell you. We're going to take a break, and then I'm going to come back, and I want to give you what I believe is the answer to that question. I'd like to hear from you on what did we miss, because we sat around this morning and we went through this list, and I bet you we missed over half of what this president has done. It's overwhelming what this president has done. He has overseen the fundamental transformation of the United States of America. He's literally rewriting history in real time. What's the equivalent if we had a president on the right? If he could accomplish the same amount in the other direction, what would America look like? We'd begin with a 10% flat tax. We'd begin with that. More importantly, when we come back, I want to tell you what I think the real reason is why the progressives, why the president's coalition is falling apart. And I'll bet you it's the same reason you don't like him. It's the same reason you don't think he's a good president. It's more than just his policies. I'll give that to you here in a second.